Episode 3. Byron coldly looked at Harry and just said one word.
No.
But because of Harry's question, his mind took him back to the night before. Cora moaning beneath him, then her legs shaking when he took her from behind. Harry was right, she did have a perfect body. When he thrusted from behind, he held on to her tiny waist and watched as her plump but swallowed his shaft. The air seemed to have suddenly become thinner. Byron quietly pulled open his collar a little. "Aw, come on, man. You're no fun." Harry was very open about relations between men and women. He had seen Cora at the dinner party once. It was a long time ago, but he still remembered the blue satin dress she wore. It accentuated her curves, and even someone like him who's been with countless women wanted a taste. But at that time, Eason was her fiancé, and he watched her closely, making sure no man went anywhere near her. Now that the Lane family had been torn apart and the Patton family had drawn a clear line between them, Harry was eager to give it a try. But Byron suddenly interrupted him. "Maybe I'll tell you next time." "Next time? There's going to be a next time? Don't say I didn't warn you. What if Jane finds out?" Harry was shocked Byron would actually think about a next time. Normally, these types of things would be a one and done, especially for Byron, who is a girl his family picked out for him. Jane was the approved bride. She came from an impeccable family and had great looks. She's also a doctor with a kind heart, a rarity in their world. In Harry's eyes, Jane was excellent. Why should I care if Jane finds out? Wait, what? I thought you'd marry Jane. Before Harry could blurt it out, he saw Cora coming into the lounge. "Oh shit, she looks good," Harry exclaimed. Byron turned around and looked in the direction of Harry's gaze and saw that stunning figure. Cora started her first shift as a promoter. "Sir, would you like to try this new cocktail? It's delicious." Cora smiled, and the dimples at the corners of her mouth were lively and intoxicating. This was the part-time job that Byron had gotten for her promoting different alcohol. The clients were nearly all men, and they looked at her with lustful eyes. "You want us to order the drinks you promote? Then show us why we should buy it." Another chimed in with a laugh. A bald guy with greasy-looking fingers got up and poured 10 shots of Patron. "Come on, if you can drink with us, we'll order a few bottles from you." "I can't hold my liquor. I'm really sorry." After drinking a few glasses of wine last night, she had sex with Byron. Alcohol tolerance was not her strong point. Cora wanted to give up on this table, so she smiled and got ready to leave. Unexpectedly, the several male guests there refused to let her go. "Come on, this is how you treat your clients." Spire 73 was famous for its hot bartenders and waitresses. That's another reason why so many men come to this place. However, just as they were about to put their hands on Cora, a cold male voice rang out. "What are you doing?" Everyone looked in the direction of the voice and saw that the man's eyes seemed to be as cold as an iceberg. "Mr. Hansen." Almost all the people who came here to entertain themselves were rich young men from New York. Most of them knew Byron Hansen. After all, this is the same man whose photos are plastered everywhere. Magazines, billboards, and social media. One magazine once wrote, "The hottest and most eligible bachelor, Byron Hansen. Who shall take home the gold?" When Cora saw Byron, she was a bit surprised. One young man tried to play it off. "We were just messing with her. We meant no harm." Looking at those people coldly, Byron said, "You're not qualified to do such a thing. Get lost." His tone sounded casual, but his innate arrogance and powerful aura suddenly reminded the people present that Spire 73 was also the property of the Hansen family. "Mr. Hansen, I'm sorry. We crossed the line." "Mr. Hansen, it won't happen again." They hurriedly apologized. However, Byron didn't listen to them. He only gloomily ordered the bar manager, who had heard the news and rushed over. "Throw these people out. Sue them for sexual harassment, and never allow them into any Hansen Group establishment ever again." The seemingly casual order made the several men weak in the knees. Almost all of the top-notch leisure and entertainment establishments in New York belonged to the Hansen Group. If they were barred from those places from now on, how could they have the face to stay in the social circle of the new rich young men in New York in the future? How could they maintain their contacts? They kept apologizing and begging for mercy, hoping that Mr. Hansen would take pity on them. Unfortunately, the man ignored them, and the manager immediately asked the bouncers to escort them out. After those people were kicked out, Byron didn't even look at Cora. He simply went back to where he was sitting before. Cora caught up with him because she wanted to thank him for what happened just now. I'd like to thank you for your help. After thanking him, Cora nodded politely at Harry sitting at the side. Cora behaved in a gracious manner and did not lose the demeanor that a daughter of a rich and powerful family should have. Harry nodded back with a smile. Harry suddenly understood why Byron had ignored his relationship with Ethan and slept with Cora. But at this moment, Byron ignored her. However, Cora's eyes landed on Byron's hand. It was bleeding. Are you injured? Let me help you take care of it. Although she didn't know how Byron had gotten injured, he had helped her just now. What's more, Cora is a doctor. She can't just turn a blind eye to someone with an injury. Harry glanced at Byron. He distinctly remembers Byron shattering a wine glass with his hands when he saw those men harass Cora. Harry's eyes darted between Cora and Byron. How interesting. Cora called the manager over and asked for a first aid kit. Then, she took Byron's hand and began to deal with it. Harry tried saying hi to Cora, but she was fully focused on Byron's wound. This was her natural instinct as a doctor. Although Byron ignored Cora, he didn't stop her from treating his wound. The wound looks a little deep. Try not to touch any water in the next 2 days. Cora carefully dressed Byron's wound and did not forget to remind him. She thought that Byron would ignore her as before. After saying that, she got up to leave. Unexpectedly, Byron suddenly asked, "Do you know how to drive?" Cora was stunned momentarily before she realized Byron was talking to her. Yes, but Cora mostly took the subway to get around the city. She rarely drove. But before she could finish, Byron handed over the car key and said, "Drive me home." Cora wanted to refuse, but when she saw the gauze wrapped around his hand, she realized that it's not convenient for him to drive. He also helped her 3 times in one day, best to return a little favor. In the end, Cora took the car key. Harry watched the two of them leave, muttering to himself, "I guess there really is going to be a next time." Cora's never driven a $400,000 car before. Heck, she's never driven anything other than a Toyota. But it's all the same, right? Just brakes and gas pedal, Cora thought. However, as soon as she drove through an intersection, Byron, who had been casually sitting in the passenger seat just now, suddenly looked serious. Cora mistook the accelerator for the brake and ran a red light. She almost bumped into a car crossing the road, causing traffic jams. "How did you pass your driver's test?" "It's been a while," Cora said after taking a deep breath. The sound of other cars honking their horns filled the air. Cora began to feel embarrassed and turned to look at Byron. Byron looked back at her. Cora didn't know if it was because of the light, but she felt that Byron's gaze was much more profound than before. "Don't you live a block away? Go to your place then." "Okay," replied Cora. When she drove the car to her apartment, she found her back was soaked. "Well, this is me. Do you want to call your driver to come?" Once the car was parked, Cora could finally breathe easy. Thank God she didn't damage the car. She would not be able to afford fixing it.
Full story is available at novelpalace.com. Click the link in the comment section to get it free.